When it comes to Henry VIII, Katherine of Aragon and Anne Boleyn, people love, as I said before in so many of my videos, pitting against one another Anne Boleyn and Katherine of Aragon. But in this scene of War 4, Season 1, there is something astonishing that people don't really realize, that people don't seem to talk about enough. And that is something that I want to discuss in today's video. Let's dive in and let's dissect this scene. So here we have Henry VIII having his little daughter Elizabeth showing her around at court. There's a few things that I love about War 4, but mostly what I'm really fascinated about is the lighting and the fact that they get it so right, that they try to give the atmosphere of what it would have been like to live in Tudor England, and that is done so well, especially in this scene. Obviously the costumes are also quite remarkable throughout the 2 seasons. Anne Boleyn is with Cromwell. Obviously War 4 is everything through the eyes of Cromwell, so Cromwell would have had to witness such a scene for it to be included in War 4. And Anne Boleyn is super proud, super happy that Henry VIII is embracing Elizabeth. Here is what we're going to discuss, but we know that Anne Boleyn is pregnant. Everyone is hoping for a son.
She's very much looking forward to seeing her younger brother, aren't you, Dumpling? And I share her impatience. It has been a long enough wait.
Let's just discuss these lines. So he's saying that Elizabeth, his daughter, that he's parading around, is waiting for a little brother. He's saying that it's been a long enough wait. That is a direct, I'm going to say a tag, but you know what I mean, to Anne Boleyn. It is adding pressure to her that she's the one who's failing. She's the one who should have had sons before. He's still though trying to play the game that he's still very happy that he loves his little daughter Elizabeth, though we can obviously discuss that on how he's about to treat her when Anne Boleyn is gonna fall of favor.
I suppose we must expect the country to mourn for her.
So here we are. We are early. We know with that line that we are early January 1536. And Anne Boleyn still hadn't had her miscarriage. So we're in between the death of Katherine of Aragon, I think 7th January 1536, to the miscarriage of Anne Boleyn that is later during the month. And here he's talking about the fact that the country is going to want to mourn.
She was once given the title of Queen.
Mistakenly.
And here again we have Anne Boleyn, the way they portray Anne Boleyn in that show is so despicable. She would have said mistakenly, because, in a way, all her legitimacy, her whole relationship, her whole status is a full-on battle with Katherine of Aragon. It's something that will never, never stop. And here, but do we have to make us say that? If you watch other videos where I review War 4, you'll know how much I hate this portrayal of Anne Boleyn. I think Claire is amazing. I just think that they got her wrong.
Do you wish the body brought to St. Paul's?
We will lay her to rest in Peterborough. It will cost less.
And here we have it. So there was a discussion at some point that Katherine of Aragon should be brought back to London. He's saying no, she's going to stay in Peterborough. It's going to cost less. I mean, this is the man who is the King of England, has no respect whatsoever for his ex-wife, has no respect whatsoever to honor her memory, her legacy. She's the mother of his first daughter. And yet, they make him say that. Do I think that it is accurate? Probably. Do I think it was just a question of money? Probably not. I think it was also the fact that Henry VIII did not want people to really like Katherine of Aragon. He wanted to move on with his life with or without Anne Boleyn. Because there's one thing that people don't really understand, is that with the death of Katherine of Aragon is the beginning of the downfall of Anne Boleyn. Because if she's going to fail one more time to give a son, then Henry VIII feels free to remarry. In a Catholic eyes, his wife is dead. And in Reformed ideas eyes, they'll do anything to please him. So basically, he'll get whatever he wants, however he wants. And we know the history, and we know that it is true.
She sent me a letter. I don't want it. Get rid of it, will you?
Again, here we have how horrible he is. Katherine of Aragon wrote a letter to Henry VIII, and he is going to dismiss it. It's a good way as well to show you that he's responsible for unhappiness, he's responsible for the way she was treated, and he's responsible for the way Anne Boleyn was going to be treated. In all, in the fate of these two women, these two queens, they have one thing in common. They were at the mercy of Henry VIII, and Henry VIII didn't show lots of mercy for two women who gave him children, albeit just daughters. But for me, it's very important. Daughters are as good as boys, obviously.
Richard Rich says the king wants Catherine's plate and furs. Rich had to point out that if she was never in fact his wife, he has no right to her property.
Or he'll have the furs.
Here Henry VIII show again no compassion, and that he wants the money of Katherine of Aragon when she died. It is historically accurate. It is also historically accurate that some people pointed out, well, if you were never married to her, if that marriage was not legal, why would you benefit? Henry was not stupid. He would find a way. And his way was saying she was still a dowager princess, married to his brother Arthur, so her land should go back to the crown. And who was the crown? Henry VIII. So he won. Isn't it crazy that a man who humiliated her, from probably 1527, so almost a decade, would still manage to get her lands and money? That is astonishing for me. I think it should have gone to Princess Mary. But instead it went to the crown, it went to him. And there is some bitterness here because of the way he was to her and the way he managed to get the law working for him, as usual. And here we have it. We have already Henry VIII. His first wife is dead. His second wife is pregnant with his second child, though she's going to have a miscarriage. And he's already looking, flirting, thinking about replacing Anne. And what I like in this scene is that obviously they want to show it to you as subtle as possible. But it also goes back to the fact that the death of Katherine of Aragon triggered something here. Triggered the freedom, the complete freedom of Henry VIII. And I think his willpower, his desires became even more at the forefront of everything, of his politics. There's, a turning point, and I don't think the turning point is just in the tournament when he's hurting himself. I think the turning point is the death of Katherine of Aragon, where he's basically free, completely free, because he can have marriage negotiation with whoever he wants. In the Catholic eyes, they do not recognize his marriage to Anne Boleyn. And he's waiting to see if Anne Boleyn will give him what he really, really wants, which is a boy. If he felt that, then he had no longer any use of her. In all, I would like you to remember that Henry VIII is the reason why Katherine of Aragon was constantly humiliated at court until her death. Let me know in the comments what you think about that scene and about how Henry VIII ultimately poorly treated Katherine of Aragon. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!